Hello, I'm Benedict Salter. I'm playing Bailey Howard in Betwixt at Trafalgar Studios too.
Surprising.
Yeah.
It's a surprising show.
It's I think because it's written in a very sitcom style, and the dialogue is very snappy, very fast, very quick, and the comedy sometimes comes out of nowhere, and you don't really expect to find yourself laughing at things and then you end up you end up laughing, and it's. But it's really nice in that way. You know, it means the audience don't really know what they're getting themselves in for when they enter that room. But hopefully within the first few minutes they understand. We go through a magic door, end up in this enchanted kingdom where all sorts of things start to happen, and it kind of goes from there really. And then they have to kind of keep switching between the real world and the fantasy world to try and you know get rid of all the bad guys and help make sure that the good guys win and that kind of thing. The important thing about Betwixt is the truth behind it, and I think the pantomime is very self-aware of the fact that they're doing all of these stupid things. Not stupid things, but they're doing these things purely for the purposes of entertainment, whereas in the Betwixt world, you know, something that Ian, the director, really wanted to get across was how much everyone believes in everything. And it is all about belief. The show is about belief. It's about believing in yourself, and it's about believing in your friends and being able to get through that, you know, if you have any problems. But because of the truth behind it, and because everyone really truly believes. I mean, there's this ridiculous part within the first kind of 20 minutes where you see these 4 members of the embassy wearing these Georgian like the girls are in huge dresses and the boys are in these big 3-pointed hats, and they decide to solve their problems.
Some of these are around here, aren't they?
Yeah, some of these just here, huge dresses, they decide to solve their problems by doing a problem-solving dance, which is almost Beyonce in style, and but it's that kind of thing. But they really do think that it's going to help them solve these problems. So that's just one example, but you know, it's bonkers, but in a wonderful way.
It's almost a buddy story.
Yeah,
there's a story about 2 people becoming friends. There's also a love story in there. There's magic. There's everything that you could ever want, really.
Yeah, absolutely, and that is what makes it human as well in a way, because. There's the 2 friends there who are thrown together into this scenario. I mean, they're not friends before they go through this door, and then they do, because both of them, Bailey certainly from the beginning and Cooper to a lesser extent, but definitely by the end, they both truly believe in something that will happen between them, and it really brings them together. And the love story is gorgeous as well, because he's falling in love with a disembodied head, and it's so sweet really, because he really doesn't. All he cares about is the fact that he loves this. He loves this head, and he thinks that she's the most beautiful girl he's ever seen, which is really sweet. And he dances with her, and he doesn't know that by kissing her, you know, all sorts of things can happen. But the ensemble are incredible, and the 4 of them who do just everything, including this whole tap number. And then Stevie and Ashleigh playing Cooper and Miranda also have to do the tap dance as well. And half of me is relieved that I don't have to do it, and half of me is jealous. I wish that I could tap. I have no dance training in that area anyway, so I wouldn't have been able to do it. But it's good. The story doesn't require Bailey to do too much dancing. There's a little bit of tango with a box, but yeah, apart from that.
Thank you so much for giving us your time.
Thank you.
Really enjoyed it.
Good.
Had a great time.
Thank you.
And lovely to meet you.
And you. Thank you.
Hello there. I am Steven Webb.
Last time we saw you was at the Great British Musical.
Yes, it was. Yes, and I was throwing up with nerves and very panicky.
See, I told you.
Yeah.
I said we were outside, and I said last time we saw Steve, I wonder if he'll do the impression of throwing up.
Yeah, it was something like that. You could do a montage of me just throwing up. Yeah.
The very first time we saw you was actually on the In-Betweeners.
Oh right, yeah.
Playing that creepy
wheelchair boy.
Yes. And you did that wonderful thing where you're talking about all the pretty girls around. We just thought.
And it's creepy, yeah. I had such fun. And I made a very good friend on that Emily Head, who plays Carly. But I think there's more footage of us just laughing and not being able to say the words than the actual performance, because it's just so hilarious to film.
It's fantastic. And then we saw you in Departure Lounge.
Yes.
Which was amazing.
I loved that. Loved it. It's such a great musical.
Yeah.
And that's why Betwixt is so appealing, because I love new musical theatre and trying to get it out there and get people to see it.
Yeah, so that's what we're here talking about, Betwixt.
Yeah, Betwixt.
So you play
Cooper Fitzgerald.
Cooper, yes.
Yes, who is the flatmate of a New York writer with writer's block.
Yeah.
And they are, before they properly introduce themselves to each other, they're catapulted into an enchanted world, in a world parallel to our own.
Interestingly, you kind of turn up saying that you've answered an ad.
Yeah.
But there was no ad.
There's no ad.
So all of a sudden, you
something odd and fate-like. There's a lot going on. There's a knocked-up princess who is going to be exiled unless she finds the person who knocked her up at the ball. There's an evil enchantress and a nymph queen who have been outcast and ousted from the world, and we're sent on a mission to find the real-world counterpart of the prince who has been transported. And it's also a metaphor for creativity.
Your character kind of pretty much goes through a transformation, because when we first meet him, he's very flamboyant and sort of in your face, and you know, and then kind of by the end of it, he's almost a different person, really, isn't he?
Absolutely, and I really like playing that because it's everyone goes on a journey. But he even says he has his reprise. It's sort of, we call it Roxy's turn, because it's sort of like a cross between Rose's turn and Roxy from Chicago. And he actually says, God damn these stories when everyone has to learn something, because he has a self-discovery of because he's always wanted to be the star and ousted anyone that tries to sort of link him metaphorically, and he just realises that maybe it's not so bad to share with someone and not have to be the star all the time.
Yeah, because he I don't want to say he's the sidekick, but he...
Yeah, well, absolutely, definitely.
When he meets up with the nymph queen, it's my favourite part, when she's trying to seduce you.
Yes, when we've seen her seduction sort of nearly work before, and he's just very dismissive and doesn't know why she keeps singing to him and tries to put him under this odd spell.
There's a brilliant line where she says, I have the most beautiful voice in the world. It's like,
oh, a little full of yourself.
That was great. And you had to tap dance?
Yeah. I had to tap dance. Well,
did you learn, or did you have to learn that? Or
well, no. Well, I learned when I was very young, and stopped when I was 16. The same with Ashleigh Gray, who plays Miranda in it. And on day one, I was just in rehearsals. I was just sort of tapping, because I do that as a nervous thing. I sort of tap. And they said, "Oh, can you tap dance?" I mean, Ashleigh went, "Yeah, sort of." Sort of is what we said, and then we've got a full-on 42nd Street
awesome.
routine.
Brilliant.
But, it took a lot of rehearsal.
Yeah.
And we still, Ashleigh and I, every day in the interval before we go on, we have to do the whole thing once through before we go on stage.
The great thing about it, that particular part is, both of you change your shoes right there in front of the audience.
Yeah.
And it's almost like no one even notices what you're doing.
We're arguing whilst doing it. He said that's what I love about it. It doesn't apologise for anything, or when it does apologise for something, it makes it even funnier. Like there's references to the audience, when we give them a little nod or a wink when something's ridiculous. As it says in our programme, don't ask many questions, just go with it. And it's ridiculous, zany. It's got every style of music, from old school Broadway to tango to beautiful ballads to Andrew Lloyd Webber type, and it's just, I think it's got a beautiful heart, a beautiful story, and it really is a laugh a minute.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Hi, I'm Ashleigh Gray.
And we're talking about Betwixt.
We are, yes.
Very exciting. So you play a disembodied head.
I do that, yes. Sounds very strange, but it's true. A German disembodied head, actually, just to put a fine point on it.
German or Austrian?
Well, kind of German / Austrian / Bavarian / whatever comes out my mouth on the day.
And it's probably the best role in the thing, because you don't have to do it, just sit in a box.
I know, it's amazing. As a lazy performer, which I sometimes can be, it's amazing just to be pushed on and off stage. I feel so sorry for the stage manager, though. If I've had a big dinner, just that pushes my box around.
Do you have a little stool to sit on, or...?
No, I'm sitting cross-legged, actually.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, because originally when they did the show, the girl was sitting on a chair, but then the actors playing the normal people were just kind of there, and I thought it might be funnier if they kind of literally have to look down, so I'm giving it cross-legged, meditation pose.
Yeah, and you get to dance in the box as well. It's great.
I do, yes, yeah.
Do a little bit of a, I don't know, what is it, a...
Tango.
Tango?
Yes. Yeah, there's lots of different styles in this show. You will see when you come. There's tango, there's big tap number, there's kind of jazz, contemporary. I don't do that, but yeah,
you do tap?
I do tap, yes.
Yeah, when you grow your legs again.
When I grow.
Is that giving something away?
No, I think people know now.
Yeah.
Yeah. No,
so I knew nothing about the show at all.
Didn't you?
The whole thing was a surprise to me.
Yeah, I think it's so kind of out there and off the wall. I think it says in the programme, just don't ask any questions, because, and it's either your humour or it's not. And so we've had some interesting audience responses, But on the whole, people have been loving it and really enjoying it. So, and it's good fun to do, which is the main thing.
When they pull the box out and they say there's a disembodied head, I didn't know you were there or anything like that. They just have this little thing. And I thought, if there's someone in there, I wonder if they're getting dizzy when they're spun around like that.
Well, let me tell you, it's not good to be in there if you've had a few drinks the night before. But I'm desperately spotting. But I can kind of see through the sheet that's over me, so I kind of know where I am. And the ensemble are very naughty sometimes. They spin me more times than they should, so I'm a bit like that. But yeah, no, quite an entrance. Pushed in on a box.
Yeah, pushed in on a box. Yeah.
As it says, anything can happen in this land, so that's a great place as an actor to be, where anything can happen, and it does happen, and you just have to go with it. So it's great fun.
How was it putting tap shoes on and getting out there and showing your tapping skills?
Good. I love tap, and I don't ever profess to be an amazing tapper, but I do love getting a little shuffle ball change out every now and again.
What's your favourite part of the show?
I think it is the strange sort of love song when I do, my curse is broken and I become the lederhosen wearing Miranda, full body styling. I think that's probably my favourite bit.
It's very sweet because, she finally falls in love with.
Yes, I know.
With her beau.
I know. Yeah, no, and they are both kind of, lost characters in certain ways, and they can find something together, which is really sweet. So you should come just for a sheer funny, hilarious, belly-aching, laughing night out. That's why. No, it's kind of unlike anything that I've ever been in before, unlike anything I've ever seen before. It's wild, crazy, but with a lovely little message at the end of it.
Thank you so much, Ashleigh.
Thank you. See you there.